What's good, YouTube? We are back with another video, and today is going to be a simple live recap of today's trade and how we lost about $100 today. So just gonna make it really short and quick and go over the trade, how it looked, what happened, what we could have did better, what happened, what we did, wrong, everything. So let's just jump right into it. So here's the open. Um, we did have news, right? So we had a CPI candle, 8:30, and we had a high and we had a low of that candle. So here's the high right there. We took the trade on ES. We took two trades. Really good, really good trade. I think the execution was, amazing. We only lost $106 on the day while we were risking a lot more. Um, so boom. Once them highs get ran, we are looking for a reversal back to sell side if, that's what happened. So simply that same exact thing happened. We took out buy side liquidity. Actually, put that sell side. We took out buy side liquidity and, we rejected these higher time frame imbalances. We were in a 4 hour, right? And then this 1 hour held, traded all the way up into this 30-minute all the way up here. And that's when I was kind of looking for that reversal, So I'm like, all right, data high got taken out first. My new draw on liquidity is data lows right there. So simply, I traded accordingly. I traded as soon as this high got taken, internal high gets ran as well. Boom, we get a sell off. I'm targeting break even down here, right? Stop loss up here. But, well, not actually, it was some internal low that made me go break even. I took the trade on 30-second, I'm pretty sure. Let me see. I remember the exact model and what it looked like. So bam, right there. Once we got that change down here, we pulled back up there. I was short around here as we were pulling back up, and bam, right here. At this low, I'm break even. Excuse me, I'm still targeting sell side. So boom, eventually, I get stopped and I did trail my loss to this right here. And I'm pretty sure there was a 1 minute. So once I seen the 1 minute open up right there, stop loss came here. Once we started displacing, we filled, sold off. It was beautiful displacement right here, right? My stop loss goes right at this high. So now I'm just like in a dang near risk-free trade. The stream is on the video, but I'm just going over, like what I'm seeing and, how I'm seeing it. So as soon as this gets taken, I'm looking for a change in the state. Lower time frame, change in the state is would be right here. Boom, we change. Bam, pull back to it, sell off, right? But I'm looking for it also down here. If the market can get down here and close below, that gives me more confidence. Why? Because we're running these gaps with it. Gap and gap. There's no fair value gap opening up. So once I seen that, I'm like, okay, price action's a little bit slow than I would expect, for CPI day. So NQ had yet to run an external buy side, which was this on ES. And NQ ended up running these highs, as you can see right here on the left chart. Look to the left on the 15-minute, bam, this is that high. We sweep it while we don't on ES. So we knew we had an SMT in the market after that. And after that SMT gets put in, straight confidence, I'm confident that if we change in the state and we put a model to go lower, that is it, And that's kind of where I think I need to just remember, like, where SMT gets put in, we don't change on that. I want to see this 15-second model. And nothing. So we just don't change, right? But in my head, I'm like, all right, if we're going to run these gaps, then we're most likely not, going to hold. And we're not going to go back higher to take out, obviously, this draw. So once we get that change right there, we play off that, we change, We start playing off that. I entered prematurely based upon this. I was in way up here. We filled on this 1 minute and we continue to sell off. Now here's where I wouldn't say I messed up, but here's what happened. I'm targeting daily lows. You know, that's a daily lows. Daily lows. And my break even is right here. We take these relative equal lows right there, and then bam, that was my trade. Just like that. We put in an equal low, obviously to return higher, pull back to this change once more. And what did we respect after we got that change, the inverse that we invalidated, right? This bullish gap, where do we pull back? Right to the 50. Boom. What happens? Lows get taken and we sell off, you know? So my original stop, it was safe. My original stop was safe, and honestly, all TPs got smacked. But I got hit on break even, you know? So the reason why I'm break even here is because we're that close to sell side, you know? And we already played around based upon this just to run it to then go back lower, you know? And then the putting in equal lows right there. You're not expecting that, you know? You're not expecting equal lows to just, oh, word, we put that in, you know, while NQ runs that low. So that's the reason why, you know, I'm break even. So as soon as this low gets taken, I'm up, you know, $700-800, right? There's no need, in my opinion, to still have, you know, damn near $300 of risk on the table when I'm already up, you know, like 700 right here. And then bam, you know, I'm targeting, you know, even lower. So bam, my fault. So boom, I'm break even right here. And what was that? 5-minute low. So it just made sense to me that, you know, we target this 5-minute low for break even, and then obviously data lows right beneath it makes sense. And, you know, in my opinion, it's confident. So did it get hit? Yeah. But, you know, without me being in it. So at the end of the day, you know, I know what I'm doing. I know why I, you know, what decided to go break even here. And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm confident in that, because who's to say, like, you know, we don't put in these equal lows, SMT, and then just run back higher when we got buy side, and then we have relative equal highs, you know, resting here. So like, you just can never, you know, predict or say like, oh, well, I should have did this and I should have had my stop loss, you know, just right here. You know, yeah, I could have had it here. That was $138 for my loss, and you know, that would have been it. But as you see, like, us just run higher, I'm automatically, in my opinion, I'm gonna be break even. Because like, if we don't run this, then at the end of the day, I have, you know, no risk on the table to make whatever I'm making. So that's just a little recap on the day. That's what happened. It was super clean though. At the end of the day, TP, they would have got hit. I was targeting a 4-hour right here. So bam, 4 hours right there, was targeting the 50% mark. And obviously, you know, that got met, but we didn't capitalize on it. Would have got hit at right there. Order would have got filled at 12:09, 12:08. So honestly, you know, I personally think it was a great day. You know, we didn't leave the risk on the table. We were break even for, you know, already, I'd say like 20-25 minutes. And then boom, throughout all this. So I was like, you know, in that trade for like 40-45 minutes. Really good decision making though. You know, I took it based upon confidence in that, you know, SMT's in this market, right? Right there. I'm gonna anticipate that new change in the state, obviously, to be there. And I'm gonna target that and be like, word, I'm gonna prematurely enter, because if I can get my fill there, then, you know, why not? So you could have even based it upon this right here. We start to pull back in that 1 minute. And then what do? lower time frame, all we do is just put a change in the state, pull back to it, never pull back to it yet, you know? And then obviously that's the change we pull back to again over there. And what do? We just tap it, go lower. So the reason why I picked this change is because it's the last up close candles, excuse me, before the sell off. So, and there's a tiny gap, you know? So this gap will hold. Like you'll find yourself seeing that happen all the time. The tiniest gap will hold. And, you know, if we would want to go higher, but we don't, we fail there. And then boom, start to go lower. So anyone who was targeting, you know, like an internal low right there, you know, they got their TP smacked, bam. And that's honestly like something I'm gonna start looking for. Like word, if I can see that happen right there, bam, you know, I'll take my profits, partial, and then maybe target that after and I'm break even. You know, I'm still capitalizing on the day. So, you know, what I can definitely tell myself is like, I didn't do anything wrong, but what could I do better is simply, you know, take my fruit, like take what's given. And I know like that 5 minute low, it's confident. That's like right after, you know, we put in this whole entire move. Like we take data highs out with this. You know, we fail it once, go take buy side, put in the SMT, change. I could easily see, you know, that be a confident draw. So like along with that being external, you know, and then deeper external in the 4 hour. So, you know, there's definitely things like I could work on, you know, sharpen up. But other than that, it was pretty simple. You know, today was not really too like hard. So it only took me 2 stabs, you know, to like figure out where my draw was and like what I wanted to see happen. But other than that, you know, that's pretty much going to be a little recap of how I took the trade, how I lost about $106. So other than that, appreciate you guys for watching. Until next time, I'll see ya.